A city built on ambition. Glass towers rising out of the desert. Artificial islands carved into the sea. From above, it looks untouchable. Perfect symmetry. Endless growth. Controlled expansion, a place where everything feels engineered, calculated, unstoppable. But look closer, because beneath that image, a different story begins to form. What if the strength of Dubai is also the source of its pressure? What if the system holding it together depends on one thing that cannot continue forever? Constant growth. Because cities don't collapse only through disasters. They don't always fall with explosions or visible destruction. They weaken slowly, through imbalance, through pressure building inside systems that were never designed to slow down. And in Dubai, that pressure is real. If you want raw, reality-based breakdowns like this, like the video, subscribe, and stay with us. Because this story goes much deeper than what you see. Dubai's rise didn't happen naturally. It was engineered with precision. A few decades ago, this was not a global city. It was a regional trading point. Limited influence, limited resources. Unlike its neighbors, Dubai didn't have massive oil reserves to rely on. That forced a decision: either remain small or build something entirely different. Dubai chose to build. Not slowly, but aggressively. It created an economy designed to attract the world. Real estate became the engine. Tourism became the fuel. Luxury became the image. Global business became the backbone. And then came the transformation. The Burj Khalifa rising above everything. Palm Jumeirah extending into the sea. Massive highways, airports, business districts. Entire areas appearing where there was once nothing. But understand this clearly. These weren't just developments, they were signals. Signals to the world that Dubai was open for investment, open for business, open for attention. And the world responded. Money flowed in. Investors arrived. Population increased rapidly. Dubai didn't grow step by step, it jumped levels. But systems like this come with conditions. They don't work in slow motion. They require constant movement, constant investment, constant demand, constant expansion. The moment that movement slows, pressure begins to build. And that's exactly what happened. In 2008, the global financial crisis hit. And suddenly everything changed. The flow of money slowed down. Investors who once rushed in stepped back. Property prices dropped sharply. Projects that looked unstoppable stopped. Construction sites went silent. Cranes froze in place. Entire developments paused mid-progress. Dubai faced serious financial strain. Debt levels became a concern. Billions had to be restructured. Support had to come in to stabilize the system. And yes, Dubai recovered, but the illusion broke. For the first time, the world saw that Dubai was not invincible. And once that perception cracks, it never fully disappears. After that, the pattern became clear. Every time the global economy weakens, Dubai feels it fast. Because its system is deeply connected to the outside world. Not partially, but almost completely. Foreign investors drive the real estate market. Tourists drive large parts of revenue. International businesses keep the ecosystem active. That means Dubai doesn't control all of its inputs. It reacts to global conditions, and reaction-based systems are always under pressure. Now let's go deeper. Dubai's real estate model is one of its biggest strengths and one of its biggest risks. Developers don't wait for demand to fully exist. They build based on projected demand, future buyers, future residents, future investors. Entire communities are launched before they are needed. And during growth phases, this works perfectly. Everything sells. Prices rise. Confidence increases. More projects launch. The cycle continues. But when demand slows, even slightly, the system shifts. Suddenly, there are more units than buyers, more supply than demand, and that creates imbalance. You start seeing empty apartments, underoccupied buildings, commercial areas waiting for tenants. At night, some buildings remain dark, not because they're abandoned, but because they were never fully filled. This is not collapse, but it is pressure. Now add financing into the equation. Because none of this expansion happens without money. Large amounts of it, developers borrow to build. Projects are funded through complex financial structures. Government-linked entities support massive infrastructure. And here's the key point. Expansion often continues before previous expansion stabilizes. That creates layers of development, layers of financial obligation, layers of dependency on future demand. As long as growth continues, this system works. But when growth slows, those layers start pressing against each other. This is where most people misunderstand Dubai. They think the risk is visible. It's not. The real risk is structural, a system built for speed, trying to operate in a slower environment. And that creates tension. There are areas in Dubai where development has outpaced demand, not everywhere, but enough to matter. Residential zones with lower occupancy, rental yields under pressure, price corrections in certain segments, and these shifts don't stay isolated. They spread because confidence is connected. When investors see prices stabilizing or falling, they hesitate. When they hesitate, transactions slow. When transactions slow, momentum drops, and momentum is everything in Dubai. Now let's talk about another layer: debt. Not all of it is visible in headlines, but it exists across developers, across large corporations, across infrastructure projects. Debt itself is not a problem, it's a tool, but it becomes a problem when growth slows because repayment depends on continued activity. If cash flow tightens, pressure increases, and then there's something even more overlooked: environment. Dubai operates in extreme conditions, high temperatures that push infrastructure to limits, very limited natural freshwater sources, heavy reliance on desalination. That means water must be produced, not sourced. Energy consumption is massive. Cooling systems run constantly. Buildings require continuous maintenance. Infrastructure faces ongoing stress. This creates long-term cost, not one-time cost, continuous cost. And over time, that matters. Dubai also runs on perception. This is critical: the image of luxury, the image of success, the image of stability. These are not just visuals, they are economic tools because perception attracts investment, it attracts tourism, it drives global attention. But perception is fragile. If confidence drops, even slightly, the system reacts. Investors pause, buyers wait, spending slows, and once that cycle begins, it feeds itself. This pattern isn't unique to Dubai. Other cities have experienced similar trajectories. Las Vegas built its identity around tourism and entertainment. Singapore engineered itself into a global financial hub. Rapidly growing cities in different regions followed construction-led growth models. Some managed to stabilize, others faced corrections, oversupply, debt pressure, economic slowdowns. The lesson is always the same: fast growth creates opportunity, but it also creates risk. Dubai today is still powerful. Its infrastructure is among the best in the world. Its global position remains strong. Its leadership continues pushing new ideas and projects, but strength doesn't remove pressure. It only manages it. The next phase of Dubai will define everything, because building more is no longer enough. Now it's about balance. Balancing supply with real demand, reducing dependency on external flows, managing environmental and operational costs, and most importantly, learning to operate without constant acceleration. Here's the reality most people avoid. You cannot run a system built for high speed at low speed without consequences. Something has to adjust. Either the system adapts or the pressure increases. Dubai is not collapsing, but it is under pressure, the kind of pressure that builds slowly, quickly. Inside structures, systems, and dependencies. From the outside, everything still looks perfect, but inside, constant adjustments are happening to maintain stability, to maintain confidence, to maintain momentum. And that leads to the final question: can Dubai evolve from a city built on rapid expansion into a city built on long-term sustainability? Because if it can, it doesn't just survive, it becomes stronger. But if it cannot, then the pressure you don't see today becomes the problem everyone sees tomorrow. If you want more deep, reality-focused breakdowns like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned because the next story won't be what it seems.